Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I get to share with you this book called Oasis by Guo Jing. This is the story of two young kids who are basically left to fend for themselves in a dystopian future where AI robots have taken over all of the land of humans, and humans are the ones doing all of the menial labor. Because they don't have a father, their mother is in town working as hard as she can to support her kids, and her kids are alone in the desert trying to survive. One day, the kids come across a robot that has been discarded, and using the skills and tools they have available, they reanimate the robot. And the robot becomes more human than you might expect. But when their mother comes home to check on them and finds a robot taking care of them, things start to get a little bit complicated. But luckily, everyone gives a little bit of time and patience to get to know one another, and a little bit of hope for a positive future starts to emerge. This graphic novel is primarily wordless. There are some moments of dialogue and things inside, but a lot of it takes place in the pictures. The story really settles in when you see all the things that the kids have to do during the day, going to seek water and shelter and food, trying their best to survive, especially the older child who ends up being more of a parent to the younger one than just an older sibling. For fans of science fiction, especially speculative dystopian fiction, this is a really curious take on how the future can look, especially when AI takes over or has a little bit more control over the humans that made it in the first place. And then the bonds that can happen when AI has a little bit more of a human side than just the robot counterpart. So the story itself flows really quickly, but it does give you a lot of time to think about what's happening in the potential for a future in which humans and AI are working in more collaborative tandem than they do at present. So this story gets you to think a lot about how kids can survive, the resilience that they have when parents are left to do all that they can to support their families, and then how family and found family can come together in really difficult circumstances. So this is definitely accessible to a middle grade audience. There's not a whole lot of complexity to the plot and no strong language or anything like that. The characters themselves are fairly young, so younger kids will appreciate the approach that this story takes. They'll resonate with a lot of the things happening in the book. But older readers will also get something out of it. So it's accessible to a wide range of readers and ages, and anyone who appreciates the storytelling that can happen within the scope of a graphic novel will appreciate this one as well. If this sounds like a great fit for you or for someone you know, I hope you look for it at your favorite bookstore.